Hey guys, we're back. Talk Shit Sports. Angel O, Jimmy Weed, Jimmy Blaze. I don't know. We're gonna get this right. We gotta get this right. I see you representing today. The U
every day,
Man.
all day, all about the U, baby.
He came U'd out today.
Absolutely.
Sure. Still don't know what the U stands for, but he came U'd out. We'll talk about that again in another show.
At another date.
Yeah, actually, I was with one of my good friends in Kabul this weekend, and he went to the University of Utah. And we had this discussion. I said, I got to get him on the show. You guys can talk about that. I'll just listen.
I'll crush him. I'll crush him.
That's going to be very, very interesting because you guys both take pride in the U for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Miami's the U.
Okay. Well, that's your guys'.
Utah's an afterthought.
You guys debate. But anyways, we got a great show today. We got football. We got some drama in football. We got rumors. We got UFC. We got a lot of great things to talk about today. But first thing we want to talk about is it's the week of the year anniversary of Kobe Bryant, and I'm actually representing my Kobe shirt here that I've had for a long time. I'm a huge Lakers fan, born and raised in LA. My dad's a Lakers fan. The Lakers have been such a part of our lives here in the LA community, and Kobe Bryant, we're like the same age, and I seen him come here at the same age as I was and grow up here, and just what he's done to the organization. We had Showtime for so many years, and we had when I was growing up, we had Showtime, Magic and Worthy and those guys, Scott and Cooper Loop and all them, and then we had a drought for a while.
Oh yeah.
And then it was kind of, we had Vlade Divac, which was depressing. And, and then Kobe came in and Shaq. And then it was just, the Lakers were back. And what he did was huge.
Now, I remember it was a Sunday when it happened. I had just gotten to Miami for Super Bowl week.
That's right, I remember.
Because last year, the Super Bowl was February 2nd. So Sunday, we get there, most of the people that I work with had gotten there the day before. I had to work the night before, so I took the red eye. I got to Miami Sunday morning, straight to the marina to shoot a promo. On our way back to the hotel, it was probably between 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going back, and somebody looked at, their phone, and their facial expression just changed completely. And they're like, did you see this? Whatever. And, we all started looking at him like, nah, somebody's messing around. This is not true. And then one of the guys that was with us used to be the Spanish voice of the Lakers.
Oh, wow.
And so when he found out, it was, like part of his family had passed away as well. So it was a very sombering experience day. As a matter of fact, that night when we shot our first show, the first thing we did was we had a tribute to Kobe Bryant. We had a huge LCD wall or LED wall in Miami Beach with Fox Sports, and the first thing we did was pay tribute to Kobe.
Yeah, I remember that day. I was I think it was Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, I was getting ready, and my dad called me crying, and I was like, "What are you?" I was like, "What? Kobe died? Like who, what? Like my brother had a dog named Kobe. I thought maybe I don't know, And then I was like, I didn't know how he was, but my dad was a little emotional. And I was like, what? Like, let me find out. Like, are you serious? Like, I couldn't believe it. I had to sit down and turn on the TV, and I was just like,
oh yeah, and it's something that really didn't register.
Yeah.
For a few days actually, because Kobe was, he seemed to be immortal. It just didn't seem like anything bad could happen to him. And so when something like that happens, you're like, wait a minute. Right. I remember that whole week. It was a very special week for a lot of people. But I remember sort of pushing the reset button on myself and saying, you know what, this could happen to anyone at any particular time. So from that moment on, I decided that I was going to try to enjoy life more, do things that I wanted to more, tell the people that I cared about, make sure that they knew that they were a big part of my life, make sure that my kids knew how much I loved them. It just changes you instantly. And from that moment on, seriously, I've been a different person. A lot of people have told me, you know what? You seem to be happier, or you seem to do this and that. And part of it was because I decided on that day when Kobe passed away that, you know what? Nothing is guaranteed. And so we just have to enjoy it, and we don't know how long we're going to be here. So we might as well take advantage of the time we've got.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so sad because, we saw what he did on the court. We all witnessed it. It was amazing. He did all this stuff, but he was barely he was second part of life.
Oh, his life was barely
a girl
starting.
Dad.
Yeah,
I'm a girl dad. You're a girl dad.
I'm a girl dad.
I mean, I got the girl dad shirt. And to him to pass away with his daughter. Oh God, it was tough. I mean, it was a very sad day. It's still unreal. I mean, God.
I think a lot of people still think that someday Kobe's just going to show up, and be there again. He was that type of persona that really transcended, so many different levels.
I mean, the crazy thing is that, us being here in Southern California, I mean, the crash was so close to where we are. And, just right here, I know exactly. I mean, they just needed to get over a couple little hills and they were there. It was like, God.
I can't imagine what LA must have been like that week, because I was in Florida. I was in Miami all week long. So, yes, it sort of was a more subdued start to the week, but it was Super Bowl week. So after that, we just got rolling with the Super Bowl. And so that sort of became, something that was left in the back of our minds, but it wasn't prevalent, as I'm sure here in LA, the entire week. And for several weeks after that, because even when we got back, you could tell that there was a somber mood in the city. But I can't imagine what those first few days must have been like in LA.
LA was definitely, tears were running down all of LA. I mean, it was. I remember that day, the day he passed. Later on in the evening, I actually got together with a friend. We went to our local restaurant and we had a beer. And literally, it was nobody in the bar. It was nobody in the bar. The Kobe on, silent. People weren't really talking. It was just, everybody lost a family member. Everybody lost a relative, a son, a brother. And I mean, Kobe Bryant was that type of person. He can go to the worst part in Los Angeles, and he could go in between two rival gangs, and they would be so odd, and they could bring them together.
Yeah, he would bring them together.
He was that powerful, and that because he had so much respect and love from this city. Yeah. That I don't know if we'll ever see someone like that ever again, or it
takes a special person, and there's very few. Because I'll tell you what, I don't think LeBron can reach that level.
No.
First of all, because he wasn't part of the Lakers from the very beginning. He came here after he won in Miami and in Cleveland. And no matter what he does, he's never going to fill Kobe's shoes, ever.
Kobe's our adopted son in LA.
Yeah.
He grew up here, came here 17 years old, grew up here. He could have married any celebrity he wanted to. He married a local, Chicana from LA, from Orange County, and he just, he's like, it's crazy. Well, when you interviewed, you've seen him behind the scenes.
Like I told you, in another of our podcasts, he was a real dude. I mean, once you got him to peel back, the Black Mamba, which was he pretty much lived it 24/7. But once he stepped away from that and he became, girl dad, once he became the other Kobe, he was very personable. He would talk to you about other things. The fact that, he grew up in Italy and he spoke fluent Italian. And so, when I try to talk to him in Spanish, he would answer, a little bit in Italian, a little bit in Spanish, a little bit in Italian. He was an extremely bright person, whose ideas were, bigger than just being successful in sports and basketball. He won an Oscar, for God's sake. You don't see many people that can, jump from one industry to another and be at the very top, right away. So he was just a special person.
Yeah, I mean, I saw today on the local news here in LA, his favorite Mexican restaurant down in Fullerton. I guess Vanessa's she grew up. And the guy was saying, the owner, he's like, yeah, no, Kobe had his seat here, and he always wanted to talk in Spanish. Like, he wanted his carnitas, he wanted his, his carne asada. This is what he had his plate, and he just kept it real, local, just a local dude, which is, to be that big of an icon in sports and to be that chill. Like, I mean, that's pretty amazing, because you don't really see that too often.
No, you don't. And he had his moments, obviously,
of course,
when he was unbearable when he was in his Mamba mentality, because he was extremely focused. He was laser focused. But that's why I think he was very polarizing, because either you loved him or you didn't, because of how focused he was, right, how much he wanted to win. He would do anything to win. I mean, that's what he did every single day, is just go out, practice, and everything that he did was to win. And not winning to him was one of the worst things that could happen to him. So yes, he was extremely focused. And I think a lot of people took him as being pompous or whatever, but no, it was just his will, his want to win that made him that type of a person. And now look, if you're an athlete for the most part, and a successful athlete, you're an alpha male, right, a huge alpha male. But there are levels. There's alpha males, and then there's Kobe. Not a lot of people can reach that right, type of alpha.
Right. No, that applies in business and sports. I mean, one of Kobe's teammates was saying, look, man, we could be friends on the court and not win, or we could be not like each other on the court and win. Yeah. And we could be friends off the court. Pick your battles. Like that's what he told them. So, wow, it's still unreal to talk about, yeah, Jimmy, and but rest in peace, Kobe Bryant and Gigi and all the rest of the people that passed away in that helicopter crash. And we also lost another. Well, this week we lost a big sports figure as well,
yeah,
Hank Aaron,
Hammer and Hank. He was
83 years
complete.
old.
He was graceful till his last day. Very nice, an extremely nice person.
You met him?
I did get to meet him twice, actually. During the World Series, a lot of the old timers are always around, especially when like humanitarian awards, like the Roberto Clemente Award, mm-hmm, and stuff like that. And so, a few years ago, I got to meet him. Great man. And the fact that he was able to do what he did, break, Babe Ruth's home run record, and he did it all natural, with absolutely no other substances involved. The fact that he received thousands of hate letters on a daily basis, and he was still able to go out and perform the way he did is just incredible. Because I tell you what, the guys nowadays, their feathers get all ruffled. It seems like somebody pissed on their cornflakes in their cornflakes in the morning. If you say something bad about them on social media,
one tweet,
yeah,
and it's over.
Exactly, and they go bonkers. And oh my God,
Paul George,
the world is going to end. I mean, they would not be able to withstand the type of pressure, the type of hate. that Hank Aaron faced.
Well, he came in early MLB after the Negro leagues, and imagine those days where the racism was still high, and I mean it's still here today.
Oh, we see it nowadays.
Imagine then. I mean look at his numbers: 12,364 at bats, 305 batting average.
Yeah, that's incredible.
755 home runs.
Yep.
I mean, he's the home run king.
Oh, the home run king for sure. A lot of the people on social media when he passed said, the real home run king. I still consider him the real home run king. Why? Because to me, Barry Bonds, he didn't do it naturally.
I mean, look at him. Let me just look at Barry Bonds' picture.
I remember, Barry Bonds back in the day when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, Bonilla.
I mean, he was a skinny kid.
Bonds and Bonilla.
Bonds and Bonilla, Bobby Bowe. I mean, come on. Barry Bonds couldn't throw out Sid Bream from second base during the playoffs.
Yeah, he was a twig.
I mean, give me a break. And then he went on the Cream and the Clear or whatever it was, whatever. Literally, his head was huge. Massive. I mean, this guy became massive all of a sudden. And if you saw the progression of when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates till, his days with the Giants, you're like, that's not the same guy.
He even had the rage as a guy on roids. Like he was angry.
Oh, he was angry at the world.
What about? Did you ever do any interviews with him? I heard he wasn't a cool dude. Like,
oh God, no. He was horrible.
He was a shithead. Shithead of the week.
Yeah,
Barry Bonds.
Absolutely. He was not fun. He was not fun to cover whatsoever. I was there when he broke the record. I was in San Francisco the day that he hit the dinger to become the home run king or whatever. And it was celebrated, big deal, whatever, in by the fans. I believe at that time it was Pac Bell Park, in San Francisco. But then after the game, going into the locker room and trying to get some of his teammates to say nice things about him was like pulling teeth. They didn't want to talk about it. That's how you knew he was a bad guy. And these guys, they avoided talking about Barry Bonds as much as possible. And a lot of the guys, what they would do is that they would stay in the shower area or with the trainers or something in the back.
So they don't have to talk?
So they wouldn't have to come out and talk.
Wow. That's how bad it was?
That's how bad it was. Man. That's how bad it was.
I'm glad he wasn't a Dodger.
Good. Well, he didn't get along with Kent. Kent, I mean, they were close to going to blows a few times from what I hear. I never saw it. But Jeff Kent, also another guy with a very short fuse. Yeah.
So Hank Aaron, definitely the home run king. Bonds, I don't know. I don't even know if he'll get in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
Bonds. He won't.
You know what? It would be a shame, an absolute shame, if he got in this year. The year where Hank Aaron passed away.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, along with other cheaters. But the new generation of baseball writers who didn't grow up with the pre-steroid era, the writers that only look at the numbers or that didn't have to deal with Barry Bonds, I think eventually will put him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Him, Mark McGwire, all those guys probably be Sammy Sosa. Then put them all in, right?
Look, if you put Barry Bonds in,
put Pete Rose
then in. Pete Rose should be in.
I mean, he's been tortured for how many years already?
Yeah. Then Sammy Sosa should be in. Mark McGwire, maybe.
Big Mac.
Clemens. Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys who right now shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame or are not in the Hall of Fame. I think once one of them gets in,
it's like a domino effect.
Then yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
The levee will open, will break, and then all those guys should get in, because you can't have an argument against one or against all of them and let one in and not the others. Because
Absolutely.
if you're going by numbers, some of these guys have the numbers to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens with that, but we'll save the football, the good stuff for the next topic. But right now we'll talk about UFC 257, 257, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier.
What a joke!
McGregor got knocked the fuck out.
A joke. I mean, this is the guy. This is Conor McGregor, who thinks he's
He just
the
got
best
laid
things in
out.
sliced bread, whatever. And this is the guy that was saying that he was going to fight a champion in boxing and he was going to have a belt, that he was going to become a boxing world champion. Give me a break. Come on. I mean, this, first of all, yes, I get it. There's different things that go on in UFC. Yes, Dustin Poirier just absolutely killed his calf, great kicks, whatever, and his leg was dead. But no matter what, I mean, this guy can't box. He's got power. But then again, those 4-ounce gloves in UFC and MMA are not the same as a boxing glove.
Right.
Yes, he has power, but it's not the same. He can't move the way a boxer does. He wouldn't have the stamina to go 12 rounds. He proved it against Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather toyed with him.
McGregor said he don't want to fight Pacquiao. He wants a rematch. He wants a trilogy with Poirier.
Now he says it.
Yeah.
Now he says it, but prior to the fight, everything was, later on this year, I'm going to fight Manny Pacquiao. That fight is almost done. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a break.
I mean,
come on.
His
you know
heart's
what?
not in
Dana
it.
White, right now, I mean, the minute he got knocked out, Dana White was crying.
Of course. He wanted Khabib and McGregor
Because
fight.
Habib Nurmagomedov doesn't want to come back. He wanted to see what Conor McGregor did.
He's running to play soccer right now. So.
Exactly. He wants to be a soccer player. So Habib is not going to come back to the UFC. Conor McGregor has lost. He lost, he doesn't have the brilliance in whatever that he had once before. Remember when Ronda Rousey was the next best thing, whatever. She lost. So
he's made too much money.
There's not that many people within UFC that Dana White can promote as being, a huge superstar.
I mean, who?
Yeah, they've got great fighters, but to me,
McGregor was his guy.
This hurt UFC quite a bit.
Well, they need a trilogy. He needs to come back and beat him if he wants to come back.
Yeah, but now nobody cares.
McGregor is not hungry.
But now nobody cares.
Yeah,
and
he's still got a following,
and he's shown that, you know what?
He's a showboat.
He's a showboat. He's not a real.
He's got his following. He's made
fighter
too much money.
as far as boxing is concerned. That would be a joke. I've said it all along. I don't want to see him box. I thought
he's
the
not
fight with
box.
Pacquiao should have been, if at all, an
Ryan
exhibition.
Garcia is fighting Pacquiao.
That's another joke.
I just saw the flyer.
That's another joke. I saw that, and I swear to God, I had a knot
we
in
don't
my
want to
stomach.
get Jimmy wound up
Just
right now.
because
We're talking about UFC
I mean,
still.
come on, Ryan Garcia fighting a.
No.
What has Ryan Garcia done?
Nothing.
To merit
we're not talking
fighting
about
a guy
Ryan
like,
Garcia
like
right
Manny
now.
Pacquiao.
We're
Please,
McGregor still.
please.
McGregor. Jimmy's getting worked up here. I got to lower his blood pressure.
You don't want to get me
I think
started.
I need to get him a beer real quick.
Oh,
relax.
God.
But look, McGregor he's not hungry anymore. You could see it. He's not in it. He's
Well,
just,
he said after the fight, obviously,
he's not hungry. He got all the money
the layoff hurt. Inactivity. Yes, inactivity does hurt
He got
in a lot of ways. But he was
out.
absolutely. All the memes after that. I love the meme with Bernie Sanders, choking him.
Oh my God,
that's
that was
a great
hilarious.
meme.
He deserved that.
But
That's
absolutely, he deserves it. He talks a lot.
Dustin Poirier, he looked good. He did a great job. He
absolutely beat the crap out of him.
Just knocked him out. I mean,
I mean, those kicks to the calves.
Did he break his leg?
They tenderize.
He said he broke his leg, but did he?
I don't know if he broke his leg. I mean, he was definitely had a contusion or whatever.
He was on a yacht after, with his suit on, waving at everybody, like it was like he just got paid.
He got paid. Yeah. He got paid. I believe his purse was $5 million.
$5 million.
And Dustin Poirier was $1 million.
That's nothing for him.
And that's a huge purse in UFC because UFC usually doesn't.
Nothing.
Well,
He makes more money in his whiskey.
UFC. Oh, of course he makes more money with his whiskey, and you know he made a huge payday with Floyd Mayweather. You know, $100 million plus.
Well, that's what he wanted to do with Pacquiao.
Well, that's exactly why he wants to fight Pacquiao, and that's exactly why Ryan Garcia wants to have his name, you know, mentioned with Manny Pacquiao. Why? Because you know Ryan Garcia, yes, he's got a ton of followers on Instagram. He's, you know, a social media wonder, whatever. But he doesn't belong in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. I mean, give me a break. Yes,
Ryan needs to get a belt first.
It will make a lot of money. Why? Because, you know, there's people that want to see something like that. You know, the name, all the teeny boppers with Ryan Garcia. But Manny Pacquiao is a true legend of the sport.
Well, if you want to have a big fight like that, you do Canelo and Manny Pacquiao.
Absolutely, that would be huge.
Big money.
That would be big money. I mean, even an exhibition. And they're saying that the Pacquiao Ryan Garcia fight would be an exhibition.
Oh, come on!
I would hope so.
Yeah, exhibition.
Because if not, I mean, Manny.
It's a waste of.
You know what? Manny would give him a cacheteada all over the place. He thought
that left shot from the English guy was a big shot.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wait till Manny Pacquiao gets his hands on him.
He's going to get a taste of Filipino power, Pinoy power, you know?
Yeah.
Little lumpia, little boom, there, San Miguel lights from the Philippines. But now we talked about some fighting. Well, we talked about boxing. We weren't supposed to talk about boxing, but we.
But it's all intertwined.
Jimmy's, he's getting riled up here.
It's all intertwined.
Jimmy, you need to go back to fight camp. Jimmy, you got to get back in there.
I do. I need to, let out a little bit of.
There's a guy named Gus
my
there.
My pinned up anger.
There's a Raider fan there named Gus. We can, put the gloves on him. So, but we're gonna move over to a big week we had last week was NFL.
Oh,
some big surprises. A lot of things happened.
Yes.
We both picked the Packers.
We both picked the Packers.
I almost picked the Bucks because you were pushing me because I was talking good about Tom Brady. Hey, look, Tom Brady.
I thought you did choose Tampa.
Did I choose Tampa?
I don't remember, but look.
I thought the Packers were going to win the whole thing.
Packers and Aaron Rodgers were favored. They were playing at home. Cold weather. Best offense in the NFL, 48 touchdowns with only 5 interceptions during the regular season for Aaron Rodgers, probably the MVP of the league. The number one offense in the red zone with a 70% success rate in the red zone. And then, yes, Tom Brady, he did what he did, whatever. He did have 3 picks.
In the second half.
In the second half. Aaron Rodgers couldn't do a thing with them.
Some of them were not.
3 and out.
Yeah.
3 and out. So they didn't do a thing with them.
Let me ask you a question.
But then that last drive for the Packers.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Brutal.
Did Aaron Rodgers choke or are the Bucks that good?
Their defense is that good.
Their
defense is that good.
They've been playing great.
However, after the game, one of the defensive players, I can't remember who it was, that said it. He goes, "You know what? Aaron Rodgers helped us out because he held on to the ball for too long. So he gave us time to get to him." And the thing, there was great coverage in the backfield by the DBs for Tampa, who at most of the second half, they played without their 2 starting safeties because Antoine Winfield Jr. didn't play. He was out with an ankle injury. And then Whitehead got hurt. He had a shoulder injury early in the second half and he didn't play. So they didn't have their 2 starting safeties. And they still were able to cover the Packers receivers who, yes, they were beating them on a one-on-one. Some drops. But a lot of pressure from the offensive line, the linebackers. They got to Aaron Rodgers. They sacked him 5 times. I believe he was hit 10 times. So, I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
Brady was only sacked once.
Yes. Well, offensive line
for
Tampa.
To lose to Brady.
Oh, absolutely.
You only sack him once in a game, you're going to lose.
If you don't touch him, you're going to lose. And in regular, during the playoffs, most of the games that mean something. I mean, this is Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl, for God's sake. 10! imagine that. In the last 20 years, Tom Brady has been in half of them.
And he was hurt one season. I was out one season.
That's incredible. That's just an incredible stat. In championship games,
he's been in more NFC champ. He's won more. He tied
14
Rodgers.
championship games. 14 championship games total for Tom Brady.
I know you don't like Tom Brady, but he's won one NFC championship. Rodgers has won one NFC championship.
Exactly.
And Breeze has won one NFC championship.
Yep.
And he's only been in the NFC for 1 year.
Exactly. That's insane.
How you like him now?
That's insane.
You ready to get a jersey? We're going to get you a Bucks jersey?
Hell no.
Come on, you're from Florida?
Hell no. No way.
Brady's in Florida now. You're Florida.
I don't care. He can be Super Goat. He can be El Chivo de Oro. He can be whatever you want. I don't care. I will never, ever, ever
You're gonna eat
wear
some
a
Chivo,
Tom Brady
some birria
shirt.
with Chivo
No,
in it?
never, ever, ever, ever. Look, you got to hand it to him. Yes, he's good. Yes, he changes the mentality of a team. Yes, he's been there more than probably anybody will ever get to a Super Bowl. I just don't see it the way things are nowadays. I just don't see someone being who can maybe make it to 10 Super Bowls in his career is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's got a good start.
He's definitely has a good start. This is his second consecutive Super Bowl.
I think John Elway's the second, right? He has 5. He's been a 5, John Elway. It's unbelievable. 43 years old. He's not. Come on.
He's in better shape now than he was when he won his first one in 2002.
Look, the key thing that he brings a winning mindset to that team.
Absolutely.
He got them to start believing. And you can see the first half of the season, they're okay. The second half, going into the season, these guys started believing.
Absolutely.
He's raised the expectations.
To the point where Bruce Arians, when he got to Tampa, he said, all right, you know what? If you want, you get to call plays. I'll just sit there and watch.
Bruce, that's all he has to just get your trophy.
Because you know what?
Because he's getting
Tom
the Lombardi
Brady
trophy in a couple weeks.
Is that good. He knows He's seen everything in the book. So he knows.
He has an offensive coordinator right there with the ball on the field.
Absolutely.
On the field.
It's incredible. And he didn't have that great a game. I believe under 270 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks.
He had one of the best first halves he's ever had. In the first half.
Yes.
Look,
that last drive in the first half was insane. 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, he goes out. Everybody thinks that they're going to punt. And then the camera focuses on Tom Brady. They put the jacket over or whatever, and he immediately takes it off. And he's looking, and then at that moment, I'm like, he's coming back in, isn't he? They're going to go for it on 4th down.
He saw something.
Yeah.
He knew something.
He came back out. And that pass to Scotty Miller was on the money.
Scotty Miller was he was gone. You see that?
On the money. And you know what? The DB for Kenny
from the Packers.
Yeah,
I don't know which
Kenny
DB.
King, I believe. Dude, he reminded me of Elvis Patterson, an old cornerback for the New York Giants, whose nickname was Toast because he always got burned. One of the great,
he got toasted.
One of the greatest nicknames of all time, Toast. You know what? This guy was Toast Jr. because he got beat everywhere. He did get 1 pick though, but most of the time he got beat.
How many seconds were on the clock? 5?
8. 6 or 8 seconds.
What
I
is
can't
the
remember.
defense supposed to play? Hail Mary back, right?
Well, yeah, but he got beat on
but he was
off
supposed
the
to play
line,
back.
on the line, and then you're supposed to have somebody give him help.
Well, they're saying
where the hell was the safety?
But when there's that less time on the clock, you're going to throw a pass. They're supposed to play back like it's a Hail Mary.
Yes.
What was he doing? That was a bad.
You play a cover 2 zone.
Who read it? Brady read it.
Oh, absolutely, he read it. Absolutely, he read it. Okay, so now we get to talk about. Now we get to talk about, why
the last call.
Yes, why did the Packers not go for it on 4th down?
Because their coach has no balls.
Beyond me.
He has no balls.
Yes, no tiene huevos.
Nope.
Absolutely. None whatsoever. Why? I mean, come on. You're down by 8.
With the number 1 offense in the red zone.
With the number 1 offense in the red zone. The best quarterback.
The MVP of the National Football League.
MVP in the league. And you're not going to give him a chance. You've got Aaron Rodgers, for God's sakes. And you're not going to give him a chance to go for it on 4th down when you're down by 8? You mean to tell me that you're willing to give the ball back to Tom Brady with over 2 minutes left on the clock?
Tom Brady, not Jimmy Garoppolo.
Exactly.
Tom Brady.
And,
not Matt Ryan.
And
Tom Brady.
And if that field goal would have put you within striking distance to tie or win the game, if you do stop them, then okay. But you were still down by 5. You still needed a touchdown if you stopped them. So why in the world not go for it? And don't tell me the analytics. No, the analytics in that moment tell you go for it on 4th down.
Absolutely.
I just don't get it. Matt LaFleur choked.
He choked.
Not that Aaron Rodgers didn't, deserve part of the blame as well, because, he had 3 opportunities.
That 3rd down, he could have ran it in.
And he could have ran it in.
I mean,
he could have ran it in. He decided to look for Devontae Adams.
But maybe he thought he had 4 down. Who knows? I don't know what's going on.
Well, look, in that situation, before you reach 4th down, that whole series, that whole series of 4 downs, before you go out there or anything, you let your quarterback know
we're going to go
that you're going to go for it on 4th down.
So get a few 4 or 5 yards.
Yes, you're going to go for it on 4th down. So they should have known.
So if there's nobody open, run it as far as you can.
So why that? I don't know if there was miscommunication. I don't know whatever happened. And there's nobody that can tell me that they told Matt LaFleur, don't go for it on 4th down. That was Matt LaFleur's call right there. Nobody else but Matt LaFleur. And the fact that they had 3 timeouts left plus the 2-minute warning. So in essence, you have 4 timeouts. Okay? 4 timeouts. You mean to tell me that at that point, someone like Aaron Rodgers doesn't decide to take a timeout and go and talk it over with Matt LaFleur and say, hey, let me get this. Let me go for it on 4th down.
There's something wrong with those two right there.
There definitely. You know what? The relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy before that was completely strained. That's why McCarthy was fired. He was let go. I think the relationship right here with Matt LaFleur fractured right then and there. At the end of the game, afterwards in the press conference, Rodgers said, you know what? I think everybody should really look at, what's going on here, because I don't know if a lot of people here know what their role is going to be with the team going forward, including me. So basically, that was the first shot across the bow saying, you know what? I'm out of here. I do not expect Aaron Rodgers to be back with the Green Bay Packers next year.
Where do you think he's going?
He's a Cali kid.
He comes to the Rams. Kid. As long as he comes to the California,
the Rams.
Come to the Rams.
Look, yes, that would be a great addition to the Rams. But the Rams have absolutely nothing to give.
Yeah, I know.
They have no picks. They have no first round pick this year. No first round pick next year.
So where else in California he's going to go?
The San Francisco 49ers. He grew up being a Niner fan.
Well, he's a NorCal guy.
Remember when he was drafted, the number 1 pick in the draft that year was Alex Smith,
right,
by the Niners.
And he lets them know that.
And he let them know, you guys fucked up. But can you imagine if he can close out his career with the Niners?
No, I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine.
I mean, the Niners have players to give. I mean, trade Garoppolo. They've already said that they're willing to trade Bosa. Because that came up with the possibility of getting Deshaun Foster.
You mean Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
They were going to trade
Foster.
those two?
Yeah, they were going to trade
Garoppolo.
No, they mentioned Bosa and something else and a pick, whatever, to get Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
So why not, package Garoppolo, Bosa, and a pick or 2 to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, for Rodgers, that'd be amazing. Imagine your childhood dream team. NorCal. I mean,
that would be one. I mean, I would love him in Miami.
Would go crazy.
I would love him in Miami.
Oh, Miami too. He would change the game.
He would change the balance of power in the AFC East immediately.
They would win the AFC East.
I believe Miami would be
they would win
favorites.
Him or Watson?
Oh, wow.
Him or Watson would win the East if they were on Miami.
I think they both could win it.
Either one.
I think both could
they
win
would
it.
win the East.
I think both could win it. But overall, I think Deshaun Watson is probably a better fit overall because he's younger. He's going to be there for a longer period of time.
Right.
How many years is Aaron Rodgers going to continue to play?
Well,
3?
What is he, 36?
He's 37. He's 37. So you give him what, 3
Brady's
years?
43.
Yeah, but I don't see a lot of people, being.
He could play 3 more years at elite level. Look at,
I think
Breeze,
so. I think so. But I would rather have a quarterback that's going to be there for longer than 5 years.
Peyton
And that
Manning.
would be
He got a Super Bowl,
and that would be the Deshaun Watson.
I mean, look at Peyton Manning. He got a Super Bowl in Denver. I mean, his last couple of years.
True. His arm was,
And he was like
a wet noodle.
He was throwing like
His arm was a wet noodle at that point. But I do think,
some were saying
either one.
Some were saying the Bears, but I don't see him going to the same division.
He
I don't
would,
see him.
no.
Yeah.
There's no way that the Packers would allow him to go to a team within their same division. That's another reason. I don't think they would want to see him in the same conference as well. So I don't think they would let him go to a team in the NFC.
Well, but
if you're getting the Packers are going to be stuck. They're going to be forced to do something, and I think Aaron Rodgers right now is going to be in charge of that situation. He's going to be able to say, you know what, I want out, I want to go here, or I want to go there, make it happen. Because if not, what's he going to say? I can't remember what the deal with his contract is, but he can force their hand.
Yeah.
If he's going to hold out, he says, I'm not going to. Plus, remember that this past draft, the Packers drafted his future replacement in Jordan Love.
Right.
Out of nowhere, they instead of getting Aaron Rodgers help, another receiver, something, they didn't do that. They got his replacement. They drafted his replacement. I mean, that's another thing that still, is a thorn in his side. And you know what? He's going to make the Packers pay.
We'll see.
He's going to make the Packers pay.
See.
I'm sorry to say, I don't think your Rams are going to get him just because of the fact that they don't have anything to give. Jared Goff is nowhere near the quality quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is. So even if they wanted to trade him...
hopefully he goes to the Chargers versus the 49ers. So
he's not going to go to the Chargers. They've got a great quarterback in Justin Herbert.
I don't want to deal with him in the NFC.
There's no way he's going to the Chargers.
Oh, man.
But the 49ers, I think that's a huge
you got
possibility.
You got Stafford, too, is available. Stafford's out.
Matthew Stafford is
you
also
got Watson,
available.
Stafford, Rodgers. I mean, they're going
There's
somewhere.
17 teams right now in the NFL whose quarterback situation for next year is uncertain.
You're saying Stafford might go to the Colts.
17. I think that would be a great fit.
That'd be a great fit for him.
That would be a great fit for Matthew Stafford.
They're a good team.
Yeah. He could go to the Bears as well.
He could go to the Bears. Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't think he's going to because of the same reason in the same division.
Yeah. The Colts make AFC send him.
AFC, absolutely. Ship him away. Matthew Stafford.
What a waste of talent up there in Detroit. What a good quarterback.
I mean, he had great arm.
But what his
wife is a head case. His wife is a head case, but that's another story.
Maybe he'll go to the Houston Texans. He's from Texas anyways.
Yeah, you're right. He's from Texas. He played his college ball at Georgia.
He played he went to high school with Clayton Kershaw.
That's right.
Good friends, and
they're very good
friends.
friends.
I think Highland Park there in Texas.
That's another possibility.
Yeah.
However,
or go to the Cowboys because Cowboys ain't got a quarterback right now.
I know we don't know what's going to happen with Dak Prescott.
We haven't talked. We got Prescott. We got a lot to talk about NFL.
Oh my God! There's so many. Like I said,
we'll say that for the next show.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
They need a quarterback.
Just signed. What's the guy from Washington that was let go?
Oh yeah,
Haskins. Yeah,
Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins. They just signed Dwayne Haskins, which tells me that. They're going to move forward.
They're looking to the future.
They're looking to the future because Big Ben, he couldn't cut it in the playoffs, and the last 4 weeks of the season the last 5 weeks were horrible. I mean, they started 11-0, and they finished the season 1-5.
I mean, that's crazy.
Or 1-4. I mean, please.
Crazy. Well, let's move on to the next game. Chiefs and Bills.
Wow. What would you have thought if I would have told you The Bills scored the first 9 points, and they scored the last 9 points of the game.
I don't know. I mean, there was a rumor out there that Josh Allen's dad was in the hospital with COVID or something was going on. That personally, I heard. Tom Brady's dad mentioned that because Tom Brady's dad was in the hospital with COVID for 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't. But I mean, he was talking about how
it didn't bother Tom.
Yeah, I know, but he was talking. They were talking about how these guys' personal lives, can impact them, and but who know? I don't know. That's what I heard. But
all I know
is
I know is that the Kansas City Chiefs could be down by 9, 10, 15, 20 points, and it's still a ball game. I mean, they had 38 unanswered points.
Well, not only
38
Mahomes,
unanswered.
When you got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, I mean, those guys are.
Edwards-Helaire came back. You've got.
They have Le'Veon Bell, who comes out of nowhere here and there.
Exactly, Le'Veon Bell.
Who would have thought Le'Veon Bell?
Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown are going to the Super Bowl
without Big Ben. And Antonio Brown is playing.
Oh, he'll play.
They're saying he's playing.
Oh yeah, he'll play.
I just saw the alert. Antonio Brown's playing.
He's got 2 weeks to get better.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean, the Chiefs defense had 4 sacks.
Yes.
Frank Clark had 2 of the Chiefs sacks. I mean, the Chiefs defense stepped up big time.
Well, they've stepped it up the last couple of years. Remember, the Chiefs could be going to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right.
Because they lost to Brady
in overtime
and the Patriots. Because was it Clark or who was it that
there was a penalty
that lined up in the neutral zone?
Yep.
And so it was a defensive penalty that gave the Patriots a first down.
Yep.
And they went on. I can't remember. I think it was to tie the game.
They scored a touchdown. They were up by 3, and then Mahomes came back with like a minute or whatever was left and scored a field goal and tied it.
But
I mean, what a game! I mean,
but had that not happened,
they would have played the Rams.
More than likely. Yes, they would be going to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl.
That's amazing for this young. I mean,
so if you start looking at it, and you look at the quarterbacks for and we're going to have 2 weeks to get into this whole Mahomes, Tom Brady. But if there's anybody that can probably get to 10 Super Bowls during his career, is Patrick Mahomes.
I mean,
this kid is 25 years old. 25 years old.
He just got to take care of him. He can't be getting those hits. He can't be getting hit like he did last week.
Right. Well, the thing is,
he was very cautious this week.
That's what makes him so dangerous as well, because he can scramble, and a lot of those incredible out of this world plays are a result of him scrambling and moving around, and the fact that you've got to watch out for him running, and you can't just contain him in the pocket. His across the body, no look passes, the shovel passes, everything. It's because he moves so well.
I think you got to give a lot up to his father. He's a professional baseball player, because to move like that, to throw the way he throws and how accurate he is.
Yeah,
he must have played a lot of baseball.
Oh, he did. He did play a lot of baseball. He was a great baseball player as well.
I mean, there's guys that move like that, but they don't throw the ball like that.
Yeah,
the ball flying all over the place. So. I mean, but Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill are seriously.
Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the business.
Tyreek Hill, he's
so fast. No wonder, he's the cheetah.
I mean, the Bucs defense has their hands full, but I mean, I don't know. What do you? I mean, the Chiefs are favorite, 3-5. I know we got a couple weeks to talk about the Super Bowl, but I mean, you might be leaning to Brady.
Oh, hell no!
Yeah.
Hell no! There's no way in hell I'll ever.
We'll ever see
No, there's no way.
Tampa Bay shirt on here.
No, I'm KC all the way.
I thought he was Florida.
Matter what.
I'm a Florida guy. I'm a California
all
guy.
The way.
Florida guy. I don't know.
KC all the way. I can't.
Should rep the home state.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but the Bills. You know what? They had a great season. Josh Allen.
Did you see Stephon Diggs after the game, staying and watching?
He was very emotional.
The celebration on the field. The only player for the Bills that stayed and watched the whole thing. Watch him celebrate. Watch him get the trophy.
Went up. Put his hands on his helmet.
You know what? And that's
Use
a
that
guy.
Motivation.
He did. He posted on social media and said, "You know what? Yes, this hurts, but this is motivation." He was there, soaking it all in, and making it hurt. just so he knows that next year he doesn't want to experience that same feeling again. You know, that's a true pro. That's someone who wants to win.
Well, look, whoever it is, AFC, the Chiefs are the team to beat next year. The next year out, it's going to be the Bills need a running game and beef up their defense if they want to compete.
What did I tell you last week?
Yeah,
the Bills can't compete at this level yet because they have no running game. Their running game is Josh Allen. Yeah. You can't have your quarterback be your running back at the same time.
They need to get a running back. I mean, he had a great. He looked a little off though. I don't know. It was just not. He didn't look like he was last week. Maybe he did have I don't know. Who knows? But it didn't look right. Or the Chiefs defense just did an amazing job. Frank Clark there getting to him and sacking him. But it's going to be a great Super Bowl. That's for sure.
I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl. Too bad that we're still in this whole pandemic atmosphere and whatnot.
Well, we get to go to restaurants on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. Because but it would have been great. Yeah, but you're not going to be able to go somewhere and have a big Super Bowl party this year.
No, you can't.
You really can't.
Here,
you really can't.
Tell nobody.
Just you and me.
Keep it on the down low, guys.
No, I'm going to be working that day. So
you'll be covering the Super Bowl.
I'll be. We're going to have a pre and post a Super Bowl show on Fox Deportes. So
you can watch it in Spanish.
You can watch it in Spanish.
Jimmy Weed here.
Un poquito de todo.
Jaime Mota in that one. Here, Jimmy Weed.
But let me tell you, it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I can't wait. The fact that the Bucks are the first team to play at home in the Super Bowl.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah,
that's another first for Tom Brady.
And although I heard the first responders get to go to the game.
Yes, there's going to be 22,500 people allowed into the stadium. 14,000
from each team.
500, I believe, are the tickets that are allotted to the general public. And then 7,500 will go to first responders who've been vaccinated.
From Kansas City and from Tampa Bay, right?
I don't know if it's only from the two cities.
Oh,
I don't know.
That'd be home field advantage for Tampa Bay right there.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah. I think it would... I don't know. If I'm the NFL, I try to incorporate, first responders from the entire country. Just because, they deserve it. One of the things that I said that I read online, somebody tweeted that the NFL, what they should have done is, yes, have like a packed house, but have it be all first responders, vaccinated first responders. So if something happened, it's easy, to do the tracing.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a great idea to be able to have a sellout crowd with first responders, vaccinated first responders.
Wow.
I think that would have been a great idea.
Absolutely.
For the NFL. However, that's where money comes in.
Right.
And so, to do that, more than likely you would have had to have everybody be given a ticket. No matter what, I think it's a business. And so, yes, the NFL is having some first responders, but, they're going to have an allotment of tickets available for purchase.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, they got to make money. They've been hurting, they make money.
Everybody's been hurting. But absolutely everybody's been hurting. But
it's great the first responders get to go to that and experience that. It's going to be awesome. You were there last year.
I was there last year.
It was a great.
I was on the field, sideline reporter, close to J-Lo and Shakira.
Well, if you're
at the halftime.
If you guys are only listening on the podcast, if you go to YouTube on our last show, we have actually the pictures of you.
Yeah, that's right.
At the Super Bowl, and you could see Jimmy Weed, known as Jaime Mota, and those pictures, on the YouTube channel there. So, which is awesome. It's so awesome you get to experience that.
Yeah, too bad we can't. We can't do something like that this year.
We'll be next year.
Hopefully we will. Next year Super Bowl's at SoFi Stadium here in LA. So that's going to be incredible. They call it the Taj Mahal. Probably the most advanced stadium in the world.
We'll be doing the show live from there.
The most tech savvy people, anything you want is at that stadium. I haven't had the privilege to be there yet, but I can't wait. I flew over it on Sunday. It looked amazing.
It's insane. I mean, there's adverts on top. You've been flying over it. Yeah.
Well, I believe
There's like a projector.
It's like a project. I don't know if it's
if you ever
LEDs or something, but you can actually have something being shown on the roof of SoFi Stadium, which is amazing.
So if you're ever flying to LAX, look right or left of the window. Look, you'll see the stadium right when you're about to land.
It's incredible. It's amazing.
So yeah, I can't wait for live events. Again, it's going to be awesome. So
I think we'll be able to go back to live events in California sometime this fall.
Well, California, but everywhere else they're actually opening up.
They're opening up. But here in California, I think as we know it, across the United States and across the globe, I think with the vaccine, probably towards the fall is when we're going to be able to see more than just, social distance fans in the seats. I think we're going to be close, hopefully, to having packed houses again.
Cool. Well, we'll see. Well, like I said, our shows are coming out on Wednesdays, so stay tuned every Wednesday on all podcasts, YouTube. Every Wednesday is our show. And once again, rest in peace to the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. Any last comments? Anything?
Hey, man, here's to Kobe, Mambacita.
Yep.
Sad day. And he's going to live forever in everybody's mind.
Absolutely. So make sure Wednesdays you tune in to us every Wednesday and follow us on Instagram and then subscribe to our YouTube channel, Angel O.
Any comments, drop them as well. Instagram, YouTube, wherever. And, we'll read them. We'll start mentioning some of you guys here on our podcast as well.
Absolutely. If you think Jimmy Wheat should go for Tom Brady, drop that on there as well, too. So
never.
Once again, we're out.
It's all about the you,
LA, baby.
All about the you.